I welcome you all again. So, I'll do one thing. I'll make the CRs who admins, and they'll keep on admitting people who come late. Okay? Can I do it? Okay, cool. So one of your CR is Arif. Arif, right? Arif is the CR.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Arif,
sir.
right? I'm making you a host. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, never mind. I'll keep everything nice. So, where were we? What do you think it's class, Karan? Okay. So, moving further, now you know what's DNA. Now you know what's RNA. Now you know what's central dogma molecular biology and how DNA is packaged. And you know what spatial regulation, temporal regulation, gene expression, and how biotechnology helps us, right? Now the next topic we want to study is so the general thing about biotechnology. The next thing that we want to study is your restriction enzymes. That's what's in your syllabus. So I will share your okay, how do we chat? Okay. So I'll be sharing a file. Okay. The lecture schedule for both A and B sections. So we'll have a combined class, and I'm not able to send this. Okay. I'll send this on your WhatsApp. Okay. Okay, we were talking about these gene structure. Yeah, I do want to tell you this because this is very important. So now you can see here, you have a gene. Okay, in the DNA, in case of eukaryotes, you have the DNA, and not all the DNA makes your RNA. You have intervening sequences between these DNA sequences that transcribe. These are called as exons, and these intervening sequences are called as introns. You know this, right? So now upstream to this gene, this is the whole gene part. You have the promoter region. In case of prokaryotes, you do not have introns. Okay, So now if you want to clone a gene in prokaryote, it's easy. You isolate the DNA and then clone the gene. But in case of eukaryotes, if you have to clone a gene, what you do not take DNA. You take the RNA or the messenger RNA of that gene, then you convert it into cDNA or complementary DNA, and then you clone it. So this will lack your intron, that are the intervening sequences that are not. You should all log in with your name. I will not allow anyone who is logging with some, I don't know, some codes. Now, when you talk of these regions, that is promoter regions that are upstream of this gene, so they will only express the gene once you have a transcription factor. And when this transcription factor, why cannot I see? Okay. When this transcription factor, so this is a gene, for example, this is a gene, and you have an upstream region here. Okay, I'll just make it like this. You have a gene. Okay, and then this is the 3' end. Now this is the 5' end, and the upstream of this is your promoter. Now this gene will not be expressed unless and until you have a promoter that's active, and the only thing that makes a promoter active is your transcription factor. It will bind to this promoter region. Once it binds to the promoter region, this gene will be expressed. There's a mechanism that what this does, this transcription factor binds, and this transcription factor that recognized by RNA polymerase, that RNA polymerase bind to this complex, and this is transcribed into an mRNA. And later this mRNA is translated into protein. That's a different and other story. So here I want to say is that the promoter region is very important, and this helps us helps the cell that a gene should be expressed there or it should not be expressed, or a gene should be expressed at a particular time and it should be switched off at a particular time, right? Now, if you want to take a gene out of, I want to cut this gene. How like I go? I cannot use the scissors, right, to cut the gene because it's 10 so 20 angstroms thick wire. It's 20 angstroms thick wire. This is still around, this wire is around, say, 2 to 3 millimeter thick. Okay, but the DNA is 20 angstroms, means 10 to the power minus 10, 20 into 10 minus 10 meter thick. That's very small. You cannot cut it with a scissor. So to cut it, we have molecular scissors or restriction enzymes. Okay, why we call them restriction enzymes is because they restrict the growth of, say, bacteriophage. You didn't get it. So I'll show you something. So you see here, I'm showing you a photograph. So you see here, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
So you see here, these are, say, bacterial cells, okay? And they had been often attacked by viruses that are called as bacteriophages. Okay, there's a virus, and this virus then transduces its DNA into the cell, in the bacterial cell. Then this DNA integrates into the bacterial genome, and then this DNA uses the machinery of the bacterial genome to make mini virus particles. And then the cell explodes what we call as lysis or lytic cycle, and then your cell dies, bacterial cell, and you have a lot of virus particles. So as we have an immune system that when a foreign particle enters our body, in the bloodstream, we have mast cells, we have macrophytes, we have T cells, B cells, we have immunity that attacks that bacteria, kills it, and we are safe. Okay. Now what happens is, for example, God forbid someone has an infection. Okay. So the cells will act against it. Okay, it will have an infection. He'll be sick for a while. Okay, then his immune system will be okay. He'll be protected. Okay. Then the second time when the same bacteria comes and infects it, or the same virus comes and infects it, so there are some memory B cells that are left behind. They will identify it. Okay, योश यो होई, ये आया था पहले एक बार. So what you call as an anamnestic response. You have an inflamed response against that bacteria and उसको वही मार देते हैं. इसी प्रिंसिपल पर आपका जो वैक्सीनेशन है वो काम करता है. ये हमें एटेन्यूएटेड वायरस, एटेन्यूएटेड वैक्सीन मींस आपने हीट किल किया या उसका पैथोजेंसी हमने खत्म किया, फिर बॉडी में डाला. जैसे बचपन में हमें वो टीके लगते थे या वो ड्रॉप्स अब डालते हैं जबान के नीचे. सो व्हाट आर दोज आर एटेन्यूएटेड वायरसेस. ओके, मीजल्स है, मम्प्स है, व्हाटएवर, और बैक्टीरिया, किसी बैक्टीरिया के खिलाफ वो हमें देते थे. हमारा बॉडी उनको पहचानता है और पहचानने की कोशिश करता है और उनके खिलाफ एक इम्यून सिस्टम, एक इम्यून रिस्पॉन्स तैयार करता है. जब करता है उसको, क्योंकि वो वायलेंट नहीं होते, वो डिजीज कॉज नहीं करते. तो लेकिन क्या होता है कि वो जो इम्यून सिस्टम उनके खिलाफ अगेंस्ट एक्ट करता है, द इम्यूनिटी, दे हैव दैट, नाउ दे कीप दिस मेमोरी बी सेल्स. ओके, तो यह थे जो याद, जब ये दोबारा आएगा इसको छोड़ना नहीं है. ओके. So now the children are playing the park, la 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 la, and then they get this infection, the real ones, the virulent ones. And now once they get the infection, the memory B cells recognize, okay, this is the guy. He had been here earlier also. We have to kill it. So they have this anamnestic or inflamed response against that bacteria. उसको वहीं मार देते हैं. इससे पहले कि वो सार निकाले, उसको वहीं दबोच देते हैं. Right? So in bacterial cells, you have a same kind of a response. What happens then? These bacteriophages, they attack the DNA. They attack the cells. They put their DNA inside. Now these bacterial cells have that molecular scissors or restriction enzyme. That's called as restriction enzymes because they cut the DNA of your viruses. जब डीएनए कट हो गया, ये नो लॉन्गर वायबल है, ये इंटीग्रेट नहीं कर पाता है, ये वहीं खत्म हो जाता है. ओके. सो these bacterial cells have these restriction enzymes. There are 300, 400 types of restriction enzymes that have been isolated till now, maybe more. And in biotechnology lab, like in our lab, we use these restriction enzymes. So we name these restriction enzymes according to the source, जहां से हमें मिले. For example, अगर ये बैक्टीरिया आपका Bacillus amelolicufacans है, क्या है? Bacillus amelolicufacans is a bacteria I'll again share my screen. So from Bacillus amelolicufacans, we were able to isolate a restriction enzyme, okay, that we called as BAMH1. B stands for Bacillus, AM stands for amyloliquefacients, H is the strain of that Bacillus amyloliquefacients, and 1 or I, Roman I, is the first restriction enzyme that has been isolated from that bacteria. Okay, now you have like the other restriction enzyme is EcoR1. That EcoR1 has been isolated from Escherichia coli strain R, and that was the first restriction enzyme that was isolated from that EcoR1. Now you have EcoR2, EcoR3, EcoR4, EcoR5. So EcoR5 is the restriction enzyme that has been, that's the fifth enzyme in line that has been extracted or isolated from EcoR1, right? Similarly, so that this is the way. Hold on a second. So similarly, there are many number of, if you can send some person to me or a CR will come to me, I'll give him a note on these restriction enzymes, okay? So that you can study. He will share this note with you so that you can study. Similarly, you have HIND3 is another restriction enzyme. So HIND3 has been isolated from anyone? Can anyone answer? HIND3. आप लोगों को समझ आ रही बात?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
श्योर किसी को समझ नहीं आ रही है, कोई किसी को सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है, किसी को समझ नहीं आ रहा है क्या हो रहा है? Everyone is able to. How do you keep the attendance, CR? How do you keep the attendance of the students?
So by taking screenshots of the participants.
Who takes the screenshots? CR?
Yes, sir.
Okay, both the CRs will take the screenshots and keep that with them. Okay.
Fine, sir.
सर हम स्क्रीनशॉट लेते हैं सर.
ठीक है.
स्क्रीनशॉट लेते हैं.
Okay, so did you
Yes,
get
sir.
this? So now restriction enzymes are molecular scissors. Okay, like we have scissors, right? So these scissors, they are found in bacteria. The source is bacterial cells, and they are called restriction enzymes because they restrict the growth of bacteriophages earlier. Okay, जब ये discover हुए, उनको उनने एक साइंटिस्ट बोला कि ये restrict करते हैं growth of bacteriophages. That's why they called them as restriction enzymes. क्या बोलते हैं? Restriction enzymes. So this is a list of restriction enzymes. I don't know, you'll be able to see. I'll give this to your CR. Now what we did, we isolated these restriction enzymes and now we can directly use them in our lab. The first person who identifies these restriction enzymes were from bacteria, archaeal bacteria, by Salvador Lurie and Bertini. These were two scientists that discovered restriction enzymes. Okay. Now, restriction enzymes, when they cut, like for example, you have this. Hold on. For example, let me show you. Okay, for example, can you see me? Can you see my screen? For example, say this is a DNA fragment, right? Okay, but this is not a good DNA fragment. For example, say this is a DNA fragment, okay? This is a DNA fragment. if this DNA fragment cuts like this, that's why I wanted that if 2 or 3 people are present in the class with COVID-19 guidelines, so it will make things easy for you. So for example, this is a restriction enzyme and this is your DNA sequence. DNA is double stranded. Okay. So you have one strand here and other strand is here. So they are complementary to each other. If you have a G here, you have a C here. G pairs with C, right? E pairs with A. G pairs with C. If you have a C on one strand, you have a G on other. What happened? So if the restriction enzyme cuts like this, okay, the ends that are produced are called as blunt ends or staggered ends. Sorry, blunt, they're called as blunt ends. Okay, they're called as blunt ends. They are blunt. It's difficult to rejoin them. So these are blunt ended restriction enzymes that make blunt ends. Okay, why I'm saying blunt ends, I'll show you. Now, for example, there's a restriction enzyme, okay, that cuts like this, okay, then this, and then this. These are the hydrogen bonds. So two strands are kept together by with the help of hydrogen bonds. Yeah. So these types of ends, hmm, so if it cuts like this, if cuts like this, these types of ends are called as sticky ends. Okay, so you have blunt ends, okay, these are blunt ends, okay, and these are sticky ends. These are sticky ends. So now, depending upon how they cut, resistant enzymes are two types: one that give a blunt end, and other one that give a sticky end. Right? Now, another thing that is that how a resistant enzyme cuts. Okay, so on the depending upon how an enzyme cuts, okay, how it identifies a sequence, the restriction enzymes are divided into 5 classes or 5 types. Type 1, type 2, 1, 2 is in Roman, type 3, type 4, and type 5. So there are 5 types of restriction enzymes. Okay, depending upon how they cut. Now, yes, give me 1 minute. I will just pull out some strings. Okay. Now, for example, this is the DNA strand, okay, and you have type 1 restriction enzyme. Kasman kya pan? Pana pan khali pan agar thoda dur pan है अंदर या लैब में क्या पाना क्या दागा या सुतली या कुछ हाँ चल कितने इतनी जीट है इतना जीट तो ना बोर्ड पाता थोड़ा पानी में कैसा पान थोड़ा पान या क्या so ये कुछ ना ये oh okay are you able to see me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So how many types of resistant enzymes are there?
5 types.
5 types. Good. नहीं छोड़ो मत करो ऐसे क्यों नहीं हो रहा है अच्छा हो रहा है Okay, so you have 5 types of resistant enzymes. For example, say this is your DNA strand. Okay, can you see me?
Yes, sir.
For example, if you have a type 1 resistant enzyme, so type 1 resistant enzymes are those resistant enzymes. अब देखो resistant enzyme के दो डोमेन होते हैं एक पहचानना जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल ये डीएनए है ये रेजिस्टेंस एंजाइम है तो पहले ये इसको पहचानेगा एक डोमेन पहचानेगा ओ भैया जी यहाँ काटना है ठीक है ओ भैया जी यहाँ काटना है तो जो दूसरा डोमेन है वो काटता है वो उसको काटेगा यहाँ पर ऐसे राइट so resistant enzyme has two domains one is the recognition domain another is the one that cuts okay यहाँ तक क्लियर अब resistant 1 enzymes वो होते हैं जो पहचानते तो एक जगह पर है काटते दूसरी जगह पर है तो ये रेजिस्टेंस एंजाइम आया इसने पहचाना भैया जी यहाँ काटियो ठीक है पहचाना इसने ये वाला डोमेन ठीक है मगर पहचाना ये काटते मगर यहां पर है So these are called as type 1 resistant enzymes. Type 1 resistant enzymes are those enzymes that recognize a particular sequence and cut at a remote place from this recognition sequence. पहचाना यहां पर, काटा लाल चौक में, right? टाइप 2 रेसिस्टेंट एंजाइम्स यूजुअली हम लैब में करते हैं क्योंकि वो स्पेसिफिक होते हैं, ठीक है? वो ऐसे रेसिस्टेंट एंजाइम्स होते हैं, फॉर ये डीएनए है, ये जहां पर पहचानते हैं वहीं पर काटते हैं. सो यू हैव अ रिकॉग्निशन सीक्वेंस, इनने पहचाना भैया जी यहाँ काटना है, टाइप 2 की बात कर रहा हूं मैं, तो आया और उसने वहीं पर जहां पर पहचाना वहीं पर काटा. So the difference between type 1 and 2 is simple. Type 1 recognizes at one place and cuts at a remote place from the recognition sequence. And type 2 जहां पर पहचानता है वहीं काटता है. It cuts the sequence which it recognizes. ठीक है? टाइप 3 और टाइप 1 सेम है, मगर फर्क ये है कि टाइप 1 रेसिस्टेंट एंजाइम वो है जो पहचानता है यहां पर है, काटता लाल चौक में. Means it cuts at a very long remote place from the place of recognition. मगर टाइप 3 वो रिकॉग्निशन वो एंजाइम्स है जो पहचानते यहां पर है मगर काटते बाहर गेट पर है. समझे? मतलब नजदीक, नॉट ऑन एट द रिकॉग्निशन सीक्वेंस बट एट अ नियर बाय प्लेस, मगर रिकॉग्निशन सीक्वेंस पर नहीं काटते. सो डिफरेंस बिटवीन टाइप 1 and 3 is that type 1 recognizes at one position but recognizes DNA at one position at one point and cuts at a remote place. Type 3 is that recognizes here and cuts at not at that point but a nearby point, right? And type 2 is that recognizes the sequence and also cuts at that sequence. बात समझ में आ रही है?
Yes, sir.
Now कभी क्या होता है कि ये डीएनए मॉडिफाई हो गया, ठीक है? डीएनए मॉडिफाई हो गया. कैसे मॉडिफाई हो गया? इस डीएनए में आपकी 4 बेसिस हैं, राइट? एडेनिन, गुआनिन, साइटोसिन, थाइमिन, ओके? और वो उन्हीं को पहचानता है, ठीक है? कुछ some enzymes recognize 4 bases, some recognize 6 bases, some recognize 8 bases. और जब रिकॉग्नाइज करते हैं फिर काटते हैं, राइट? अब क्या होता है कि अब एक क्वेश्चन उठता है, एक सवाल उठता है. फॉर एग्जांपल डीएनए किस चीज का बना होता है? डीएनए किस चीज का बना होता है?
Nucleotides का.
न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स. न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स comprise of a base, that is this, a sugar, a ribose sugar, a deoxyribose sugar, sorry, RNA is ribose sugar, a deoxyribose sugar and a phosphate bond. ठीक है? A phosphate molecule. So with the help of phosphodiester bonds, so this A is connected to this T with the help of a phosphodiester bond. T is connected to T with the help of a phosphodiester bond. This T or a base is connected to the sugar with the help of a glycosidic bond. This A is connected to T, means the bonding between two strands is a hydrogen bond. A और T के बीच में double bond और G और C के बीच में triple hydrogen bond, right? इस G और इस T के बीच में भी एक बॉन्ड होता है, दैट्स वैन डर वाल इंटरेक्शन. वो छोटी सी इंटरेक्शन होती है, सबसे वीकेस्ट बॉन्ड होता है, वो इन दो को साथ रखता है, ठीक है? सो यू हैव दिस वैन डर वाल इंटरेक्शन. तो कितने बॉन्ड हुए डीएनए में? एक तुम्हारा फॉस्फोडाइस्टर बॉन्ड हो गया, ओके, एक तुम्हारा ग्लाइकोसिडिक बॉन्ड हो गया, एक तुम्हारा वैन डर वाल इंटरेक्शन हो गया और एक तुम्हारा हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड हो गया. बात समझ में आ रही है? तो अब क्या होता है जब वायरस का डीएनए आ गया अंदर, अब डीएनए किसका बना है? एटीजीसी, 4 बेस पेयर्स. अब किसी कॉम्बिनेशन में भी डाल दो, बात सिर्फ यही डीएनए की है, एटीजीसी की बात. और डीएनए को हम रीड भी करते हैं थ्रू बेसिस, मतलब हम नहीं करते हैं शुगर है फिर फॉस्फेट है फिर बेस है, नो, वी रीड इट ऑन, क्यों? बेस ही है जो डिफरेंट है हर एक में. बाकी शुगर और फॉस्फेट सेम है, उनमें कोई चेंज नहीं है, मगर बेसिस आर डिफरेंट, या ए है या टी है या जी है या सी है. तो यही 4 बेस पेयर्स है, यही 4 बेसिस है. ओके, व्हाई वी कॉल देम बेस पेयर्स? 2 स्ट्रैंड है, यहाँ पर एक है, यहाँ पर 2, तो गए बेस पेयर. तो रिकॉग्निशन सीक्वेंस बेस पेयर्स में इट रिकॉग्नाइजेस दिस, या डीएनए इज इतना बेस पेयर्स, because DNA is double stranded usually, normally, most of the times. Okay, RNA is single stranded. DNA is double stranded, that's why it is more stable. RNA is single stranded, that's why it's less stable. DNA में you have 2-OH पर आपका OH नहीं होता है deoxyribose में. For example, I will show you. This is a ribose sugar. Okay, this is your 1 prime, 2 prime, 3 prime, 4 prime, and 5 prime. तो 5 carbons a ribose sugar. 6 carbon. This is a pentose sugar, right? Hexose. 6 carbon का hexose होता है, right? कि नहीं? So I'll move
Yes.
quick. We have 3 minutes left. So with this video will end, the class will end. So यहाँ पर RNA में एक और OH होता है 2 prime end पर. Why it's prime? I'll tell you in the next class. यहाँ पर एक और OH होता है 2 prime पर. अगर ये OH हट गया, deoxy, यहाँ पर सिर्फ H बच गया, ऑक्सीजन हट जाता है, तो that's why it's called a deoxyribonucleic acid. अगर RNA होता, यहाँ OH होता, तो ribonucleic acid. ये O हट गया, deoxy हो गया, ऑक्सीजन निकल गया, तो deoxyribonucleic acid. That's why DNA, RNA. So ये दो, जब RNA में यहाँ भी OH हो गया, यहाँ भी OH हो गया, तो having 2 OH in a position जो दो simultaneous carbons के पास हो makes it liable for a nucleophilic attack. ये इससे stability कम हो जाती है, ये टूट जाता है sugar, RNA less stable है. So keep in mind RNA is less stable, DNA is more stable because number one, RNA has 2 OHs that make it less stable. DNA has only 1 OH, makes it more stable. DNA is double stranded, makes it more stable. RNA is single stranded, makes it less stable. The enzymes that degrade the DNA are called as DNases that are not so stable. कमजोर होते हैं. यहाँ से DNA ताकतवर होता है, तो वो बेचारे उसको काट नहीं पाते हैं. दूसरी तरह से RNases, the enzymes that degrade RNA are more stable than the DNases. तो यहाँ पर RNases भी जिन की तरह पीछे पड़े हुए हैं, और RNA बेचारा पहले से लल्लू लाल है, तो उसको इजीली डिग्रेड करते हैं. तो ये कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री इफेक्ट हो गया, मतलब वहां से भी चो पड़ रहे हैं, यहाँ से भी चो पड़ रहे हैं, तो ये बेचारा आपका लेस स्टेबल है. योर RNA इज लेस स्टेबल, योर DNA इज मोर स्टेबल. अब क्या हुआ, वायरल DNA आया, बैक्टीरियोफेज का वायरस का DNA आया, उसने ट्रांसडक्शन से अपना DNA बैक्टीरिया में डाल दिया. नाउ वंस DNA इज इनसाइड, इसको पहचानता है कौन, इकोआर1. ये इसने इकोलाई में इन्फेक्ट किया. अब इकोलाई में क्या है, इकोआर1 रेसिस्टेंट एंजाइम. वो उसको देखता है, अच्छा तुम आ गए, तो उसको काटने लगता है, उसको डिग्रेड कर देता है. मगर मेरा सवाल आपके लिए है, अब इकोलाई का अपना DNA भी है बहुत सारा, जीनोमिक DNA. ये इकोलाई का DNA, जीनोमिक DNA. इसको अपना रेसिस्टेंट एंजाइम क्यों नहीं काटता? काटना तो बेसिस ही है ना, DNA बेस पेयर ही है, DNA को ही काटना है. How does it differentiate कि ये मेरा DNA है और ये इसका DNA है, right? How does it differentiate? So क्या होता है कि बैक्टीरिया अपने इकोलाई अपने DNA को मिथाइलेट कर देता है, उसको मिथाइलेशन हो जाती है या हाइड्रोक्सिलेशन हो जाती है, ठीक है, right?
Yes, sir.
या ग्लाइकोसाइलेशन हो जाती है. तो उससे क्या हो जाता है कि ये रेसिस्टेंट साइट एंजाइम्स आप इसको नहीं पहचान पाते, भाई इसको नहीं काटना, ये अपना है. हाँ, मगर जो वायरस वाला है वो मिथाइलेटेड नहीं है, उसको काटो, राइट? सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज मॉडिफाइड DNA. तो कुछ रेसिस्टेंट एंजाइम्स ऐसे होते हैं जो इन मॉडिफाइड DNA को भी ही पहचानते हैं और उनको काटते हैं. इवन इफ यू आर ग्लाइकोसिलेटेड, दे आर मिथाइलेटेड, दे आर हाइड्रोक्सिलेटेड. तो वो रेसिस्टेंट एंजाइम्स है जो टाइप 4 रेसिस्टेंट एंजाइम्स. So type 4 enzymes are those enzymes that cut modified DNA molecules or modified DNA strands. Modification means उसमें methyl group जुड़